Hey everybody, welcome to Butcher Bay Rejects. This is our new podcast. My name is Marc.
I'm Greg.
And welcome to the show. This is our first episode, officially.
What's up, nerds?
Just a little background. Greg and I are both big-time fanboys. We big time into movies, comics, pulp culture, cartoons, you name it.
Action figures.
Action figures. Yes. Not dolls, action figures.
Unopened ones, but of course, you must open them.
Yes, well, that's my thing. I like to play with the toys. You don't.
And I don't. Nope. Stick them in a cool, dry place and forget about them and never look at them again. That's how you enjoy them. Remember, he who dies with the most toys wins.
He who dies with the most toys wins. Yes. Just so that people may be wondering about the name, Greg, if you will, since it's your baby.
Yeah. So if you're a true nerd, then you would have got the reference already. For those of you that hadn't seen Pitch Black, it's the Triple Max Security Slam where Richard B. Riddick was sent, and that's where he got his surgical shine job done in that prison. So, and of course, Marc and I are rejects at something. So, hey.
Yeah, that's we definitely have rejected a few things or been rejected from a few things.
Oh yeah, me too, especially within the area of women. With extreme prejudice, I might add.
I'm not going there. No.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep this to pop culture.
Which brings us to today's topic. With the new year, we got a lot of new stuff happening. First thing that was up. First thing that came up this year was Cobra Kai, but we're not going to jump into that yet. But now with Marvel, just started WandaVision.
Yes, we're going to cover episode 1 of that, which came out last Friday.
You want one or 1 and 2? Because both of them came out Friday, so.
Oh, well, okay, up to you.
Yeah, well, might as well. I mean, it's what it's available, right? We're not spoiling anything.
No.
I mean, it's been out for 2 days. We should, those that have really, really wanted to see it should have seen it already. So
yes, if you haven't, spoiler alert.
We are going to spoil the shit out of this.
Yeah,
because we're
going to do a deep dive,
deep cuts. For opinions, what was your impression of the show?
I got to be honest. I thought I wasn't going to like it because everything I kept reading was how different it was from anything in the MCU, how weird it was going to be taped in front of a live studio audience. I love the Vision. I love Paul Bettany. I thought, oh God, they're going to ruin it, and I couldn't be more wrong. So I thought it was hilarious. I love the spoof of the old TV shows like I Love Lucy and Dick Van Dyke Show. So I'm totally hooked now. I mean, you and I both have a big man love for Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
In our eyes, he can do no wrong. So I thought he was a serious MVP of these 2 episodes.
For sure. I mean, for me, I've never been crazy about the old style stuff. I mean, I watched it to death when I was a kid, so it's kind of like, no, don't want to go back to that. But they did a really good job of emulating that. You really got a good feel for that. And I even liked it that they displayed it in 4:3, not 16:9.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true.
They give the square old tube TV kind of style, which was thinking they had the acting down perfect. I mean, that very over the top, "Hi, hon, how are you?" kind of feel to it, which was fun. But then you get all the little snippets coming in that really, really sets up the stage for what they're doing, which is kind of really interesting because it makes you really want to see the next episode, right?
Yeah, and it's worth it for those small moments. I'm sure we're going to get every episode where something's not quite right in Pleasantville,
Oh, for sure. The little additions of color everywhere, especially red. They played big time on red.
Yeah, that was, to me, I love the movie Pleasantville with Paul Walker and Reese Witherspoon, so I like how they referenced that movie too, about that little bit of color in the black and white world,
Yeah.
Starts to come out whether you want it to or not.
Yeah. And we saw a few things that they've already hinted to in the MCU. The use of S.W.O.R.D. The Shield, the I guess, Shield sister agency that protects against alien invasion.
Yeah, anything to do with space. That's right, above the Earth.
Yeah, so we got lots of hints in that, and and just lots of hints to their previous life too. The reference of Sokovia, the markings of their old costumes in a lot of the things around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Vision's tied a lot of the diamond pattern, which was like the diamond pattern on his chest from the comic books. What else? Oh yeah, the mind stone on the disappearing cabinet.
Yep.
Yeah,
and even the joke about when the plate hits him in the head.
The end.
Wanda's like, "Oh, my husband and his indestructible head," which is a direct callback to Infinity War and Endgame. So
where he gets his head ripped off.
Yeah, not so indestructible, but in Wanda's world, it is.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think of like the supporting cast? Like the neighbor was way over the top.
Yeah, I love Catherine Hahn. She's hilarious, and of course the rumor is she's obviously probably a baddie. She's probably Agatha Harkness, everyone's guess, the enemy, I guess, switch to Wanda Maximoff. But she, she's.
Well, wasn't she one of the ones that helped raise them, if I remember correctly from the comic books?
Yeah, you really got to go into the comics to find. And again, this is all speculation, of course,
right.
But signs seem to be pointing towards her and even Mephisto at one point.
Well, they referenced the one that raised them, Bova, I guess you could say half cow, half humanoid character from the comic books. That was who was that made by?
You mean who made the Bova milk?
No. The villain in the MCU, not the MCU, but in the comics that sentient cow midwife. That was hang on. I hate it when I can't remember things.
Well, there's just too much to remember.
Yeah.
In this ever-growing universe of Marvel. I myself am just familiar with blue milk from Star Wars, so I can't help it.
The High Evolutionary, that's it. The High Evolutionary created them. That's it. When they lived on Wundagore. Aha! Right. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. Marvel and Kevin Feige, they're going to take snippets of everything and then make an amalgamation and, just so to keep you guessing. It's not going to follow exactly the same storyline, but they're going to take a piece here, a piece there.
Yeah, well, that's just it. They're so great because you don't know where it's all going to step in, right? Because originally they were mutants, and then they were created by High Evolutionary. Then it's back and forth, and now we don't know if Wanda's going to create mutants in this show, which is going to be interesting.
Or give birth to one.
That's just it. It's like they're. I guess they could say they're fabricating their own version of what happened with it, but they're keeping it true to the canon, which I like. You can't make everything identical because you just don't have enough time or film to do so.
What do you think of the addition of Tiona Paris, who played Monica Rambeau, Maria Rambeau's daughter from Captain Marvel? What do you think of that?
Well, it's again another tie-in to the MCU, right? So, I mean, that character was Captain Marvel in the MCU, just right. A different version of Captain. I think Captain Marvel had been used by.
Well, she had a few names like Pulsar, I think, and other names too.
Yeah.
Photon, I think.
Yeah.
But this would now since this show is supposed to take place present day, and Captain Marvel was set. Mid-90s, so I guess now it's age appropriate for, but she's probably from S.W.O.R.D, I guess, or S.H.I.E.L.D. because of the awe that she had for Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel went to space, so she probably went to the good guy side.
Yeah, and obviously, she claimed wanting to go to space in front of Nick Fury, and guess what?
Yeah, exactly.
Nick will
She got her wish.
Nick will keep tabs on her, and next thing you know,
yeah,
he like Tony Stark said, he's the spy. His secrets have secrets.
His only weakness is flirkins. So other than that, Nick Fury is a tough dude.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff to the direction they'll take all this. It's anybody's guess. I mean, we've been, you and I both have been combing the net, looking at all the different speculation as to what's to come, and it's kind of exciting. It's kind of really exciting.
Oh, let's not forget Deborah Jo Rupp, who played Mrs. Hart from that 70s show, which briefly turned this show into that 50s show. She was top notch, along with Fred Melamed, who played Mr. Hart. They were a good.
That was the perfect depiction of the 1950s sitcom kind of feel.
Yeah.
And with the neighbor always referencing Ralph, the way she says it, I keep thinking Ralph Cramden.
Yeah.
I figured Jackie Gleason's going to show up somewhere.
And what a show! Like, where else are you going to get Paul Bettany singing Yakety Yak? And I just saw an interview with him. They had rehearsed actually another number different. He had learned it pat, and then the last day they said, "I'm sorry, Paul, something about music rights. We couldn't do it, but we got Yakety Yak." And he said, "What's Yakety Yak?" So he had to relearn a new song.
Well, he's such a versatile actor in everything that he's done. So, he's done comedy, he's done serious, he's kind of jumped in between. He's done he's played villains, he's played.
Yeah, he always thinks he's going to get fired from every job he does. And that makes me mad because he's so talented. Like when he wrapped Endgame, Kevin called him to the office and he thought, oh, okay, they're going to let me down. So he says, I went and I actually let them down. I did it for them. And they were like, well, Paul, what are you doing? We're here to offer you a TV show. And he said, oh, okay. Never mind what I just said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he played Silas in the Da Vinci. Was it Da Vinci Code or Angels and Demons? No, it was Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, or he was like the killer monk from hell. That was so well played. What was the other one? The one.
Well, my favorite is he played the ship's doctor and master and commander of the far side of the world. Him and Russell Crowe together were excellent.
Yeah, and what was it? There was another one who was a villain.
Well, he played.
Was it Firewall?
Well, he played
Firewall. He played the villain too.
Yeah. Well, and also in Solo, he played the big baddie in Solo.
True. Very true.
Han Solo movie, which I think he did more than pulled off.
Yeah, and he played the lovable character in Wimbledon.
Yes.
Which also has another Marvel alum, James McAvoy.
That's true.
Played his little brother.
Yeah.
So right. Reunions everywhere. That's if they bring McAvoy in as Professor X when they start doing X-Men, which could be interesting.
Yeah, we don't even know if this is a season 2 type of show. Doesn't sound like it, but who knows? But because everyone, like I said, thinks that at the end of this, Wanda Maximoff is going to be the big baddie, and Doctor Strange too. Multiverse of Madness, which is again speculation, but that's
it would make sense. Yeah. In a sense, with every, well, it all depends on how they bring all that together, right? We got how many episodes do we have for WandaVision?
I think there'll be 9 total.
Nine episodes. So wait to see what happens in Doctor Strange, and it's going to be like, oh. I think the direction they're taking and the way they're going is just going to be it's going to be exciting for Marvel fans. We've been waiting decades for this kind of stuff to happen. I remember when I started collecting comics. For me, it was in '89, and I just fell in love with the storylines and the artwork. Wanted to actually be a comic book artist at one point in time. I just didn't have the drawing chops. I thought I did, but. Better has told me not so much. I think one of the comments was, real people don't look like that.
Yeah, but then a Beavis and Butthead comes along and is a hit, and then what do you know?
You just roll with it. You just roll with it. I became a graphic designer instead.
Showed them.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a lot of those stories, especially like the 80s. The storylines were really, really rich.
Well, yeah, here's where Mark and I differ, because Mark actually read them and I only bought them for the cover. So full disclosure, I'd drop $100 on a Silver Age comic just for the cover and not even open it. So yeah, you would know more about the storylines than I would.
That's one of the things I love bugging you about.
Yeah, this WandaVision, everyone's saying, comes from the 2005 Bendis storyline, where basically Francis Xavier approaches the Avengers and asks them to help take out Wanda Maximoff. Because,
the House of M.
In reality, and of course, if you spot it on the wine bottle, as they're pouring wine in the first episode, it said Maison du Mépris, House of M for non-French speaking, which means House of Misery. So that could be a direct callback or a nod to that storyline.
Oh, there's probably hints everywhere. I think you probably almost have to go through it frame by frame to find all the little tidbits and whatnot. Yeah.
First time you watch it for pleasure, and then you watch it for Easter eggs the second viewing.
Yeah, I mean, even in the commercials they dropped it. You got the Stark toaster, again with a little red light on the front, and then you got the Hydra watch. But did you notice that it's the same actors in each commercial?
That's right. Yeah.
So I wonder if those are going to fit in somewhere. Yeah,
anything is possible.
So it's going to be interesting, but no, like I said, you go back to all the comic book stories that they had and everything. Every storyline, was so rich. I mean, you get a few one-offs here and there, but most of the time it was a big story arc. Finishing up in an annual, and it was just like, you just sit there and kind of go, oh, this is so cool. I mean, back then, Wanda and the Vision were part of the West Coast Avengers, which was,
that's right. Yeah, I remember that. I covered that comic.
Yeah. So at that point, Hawkeye was part of the West Coast Avengers. I think Iron Man 2 was part of the West Coast Avengers as well. So there's a lot of richness there, which is going to be like, can't wait to see what. I mean, I just love to sit. I love to sit in the writers' room and just listen to them bouncing around the ideas. Can you imagine what they're talking about and where they're referencing and who they're referencing and so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, even we just found out that the live studio audience wasn't random people. It was all family and friends, obviously.
Yeah.
Marvel, so they could keep a secret, no cell phones allowed, type of deal.
Right. Like for me, like I'm hoping, praying to the comic gods that when they start doing X-Men, that they bring Chris Claremont in as one of the writers, because. He had the longest run writing the X-Men. I think he did it for 25 years? Something like that. Like all of their major storylines came from him. So, you gotta hope and want him to like be a part of it, because damn. Everything from Dark Phoenix Saga to was that him? I'm not sure. And people can correct me if I'm wrong. But, all through the late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that, he had, Executioner's Song, what other storylines? Extinction Agenda, that was all him. And those were all like really, really, I guess you could say, world-altering events.
Yeah.
In comic books. So it's kind of like, oh, that would be so cool. I mean, they've done Dark Phoenix to death already. I think they've had 2 kicks of the can for Dark Phoenix.
In the movies, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Still haven't gotten it right.
No. Last one of those filmed right here in Montreal.
Yes.
I would like to mention one last guest, because it was, if you're a Donnie Darko fan, then you loved it. Jolene Purdy, who played Beverly, one of the, I guess in episode 2, she was one of the
she was ladies. One of the guard ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in Donnie Darko, which I guess is a massive cult movie now. You either love Donnie Darko or you. I loved it. I didn't understand a thing about Donnie Darko, but I love the movie, so I like that Like, oh my God, it's her.
That was actually,
2001.
I've never seen Donnie Darko.
No?
No.
Oh yeah, it's a trip. Like you'll get it or you won't. But even say I don't understand all of it, but I still like it. It's a hell of a trip. Jake Gyllenhaal, you know.
Well, that was classified as a thriller, right? Or thriller or horror?
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a good question. I don't think it's hard to classify that movie when you watch it.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're watching.
Because I remember that on the time it came out, I wasn't big into the
Yeah,
horror
it's
movies.
in the
So it was
it's in the David Lynch realm type. You know,
right.
maybe might not be a fair comparison, but it's unlike any other movie you've seen.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when it came out, I was kind of like, not quite my thing. So I just kind of like, I never really went into it. Although, you know, I've gone back to a few things from back then and be like, oh wow, you know, the 80s and 90s, what a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Everyone that grew up in those eras always, you know, they can't think of anything else as being a better era.
That's true. Yeah, we're biased.
But you know what? That's actually kind of indicative of everybody. You know, those that grew up in the 70s think, you know, everything else was stupid. 50s and 60s too. You know, like remember my father looking at the music I was listening to and like, I don't get this.
Well, actually, when I was younger, I thought decades were cyclical. Like I thought, okay, I thought we would actually get our 50s and 60s because I'd see those photos of the surfers and the muscle cars, and I thought, okay, great, now we get our turn. And I was devastated to find out it's not cyclical. Once it's gone, and there's a new decade coming. So
yeah, well, I mean, you know, we had Knight Rider and Airwolf, and those were our vehicles of the Blue Thunder.
Don't forget Alf.
Alf. You know,
I was kidding about that one. But.
Hey, Alf was an icon. I loved Alf. It's on Prime. I threw on like
still friends.
I threw on the first episode and I was kind of like, oh yeah, this is funny.
I don't know how we're still friends if you like Donnie Darko, Alf, but okay. But no, yeah, to get back to. Yeah, Donnie Darko is officially classified as sci-fi fantasy.
Sci-fi
but
fantasy,
even then,
okay.
I still wouldn't call it sci-fi, but whatever.
Right.
I guess there's some sci-fi elements, but anyway, glad to have Jolene Purdy in it. Okay, and of course we know upcoming episodes is going to have Kat Dennings, who you know I love, and I have a thing for her, Starcy and Meow Meow.
Oh yeah.
So can't wait to see her back.
Well, you know what? Like I said, it's. You see it a lot more in the second episode where Wanda is trying to control her area, where outside fringes are coming in, and she's like no, and you know brings it back to like the wholesome. You know, this is I want my dream life. You know, and this is it. Me and Vision living in the that 1950s kind of where everything is good and right in the world kind of situation. And, you know, as soon as something starts to falter her, and then you got to think that what goes wrong is from her. Like, you know, Mr. Hart choking on the sausage, you know,
yes.
When you see the beekeeper coming out of the street.
Yeah, and there's even people saying that toy helicopter was either a drone or it was actually a full-size helicopter, and she altered it with her magic, and because she didn't want to deal with it, so she shrunk it.
Yeah, so just to show how much power she has. You know, Strucker didn't know what he was doing when he built her.
That's right. Yeah, so don't forget, kids. She started off as a villain in the movies. So.
Yeah. So, no. It's. I think this is going to be a bit of a wild ride. I think it's going to be a lot of twists and turns, a lot of where we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I think the comedy is going to slowly start to ebb, and it'll get more serious near the end.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't maintain that.
Well, you know what? Like you said, it's ever evolving each episode, right? Like the end of episode 2, she's pregnant and it goes to color, which goes right back to the comic books where she actually manifested her pregnancy, right? So now we got this, and it's just like, oh, and that, to me, I think they're moving quickly because I think they really want to. They only have a short time to tell this story, so I think things are going to start to pick up speed, and
Yes.
and it's really going to start to gel a lot more. We're definitely going to see what, a little bit more behind the curtain and what's going on, because the whole return to the 1950s sitcom kind of thing, that's going to roll out pretty quick.
Yeah, so every episode will probably feature a new decade, probably, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and all of us can't wait for the 80s.
Yeah. That's right. Well, already you can see in the trailer that it's Halloween, and Vision is wearing the classic, Silver Age Vision costume, and she's wearing the classic Scarlet Witch. So
right.
that's for the fans, and I appreciate that.
Well, you know what? They're good on fan service. That's one thing Marvel is so good at, is giving the fans the characters that they always loved. Whether it's in the casting or the writing. I mean, you gotta admit, every MCU character that's been cast has been done right.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us can't think of another Captain America other than Chris Evans. You can't think of another Tony Stark other than Robert Downey Jr. Even Mark Ruffalo as the third Hulk is the real Hulk. You know what I mean? Although I loved Edward Norton.
Yeah, I like them all. But if you're going to put a gun to my head, no, Edward Norton, he does it for me.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we have a Canadian actor playing Shang-Chi.
Right.
So
exactly.
we're very proud of that.
Very much so. Very much so.
Simu Liu. From Kim's Convenience.
We got a new Blade, and we're gonna have with Doctor Strange and all that. I'm looking forward to them pulling off a Midnight Suns storyline. They bring in Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange and Blade and even Hannibal King. Although I don't know if you would cast Ryan Reynolds back as Hannibal King if he's going to be Deadpool.
Yeah.
Although knowing him, he'd do both. Just for shits and giggles, he'd do both.
Yeah. Well, he's getting finally his own R-rated. Kevin Feige said he's getting his own R-rated movie, and he'll be officially in the MCU. So our prayers were answered.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for him. He's going to pop up everywhere. I know it.
Yeah. He's talking shit about everybody. God bless him.
There'll be the next Avengers, and Deadpool will be like ringing the door, going, "Hey, is anybody home? I was told to come here."
Where's Wheels?
This looks bigger than the X-Men place. This looks more modern.
So much Ryan Reynolds can do with that. Can't wait.
Yeah, so much. So it's just going to be like this constant fan service. I'm looking. I'm living the dream here with it. I think I've rewatched the Infinity Saga at least 3 times already, and I'm kind of doing it again. I just started Winter Soldier.
Of course you are. Because you only watch movies you've seen before. No new movies, but hey, we're working on that.
Hey, I popped in a few new ones. I saw Boss Level. That was a new one.
True. But Winter Soldier is probably my favorite in that fight scene. For the longest time, since 2002, The Bourne Identity, no one's ever gotten a better fight scene with that one with Matt Damon and the other spy. And so for me, that fight scene between Winter Soldier and Chris Evans either equaled it or surpassed it. That hand-to-hand combat scene.
Yeah. The one right after they got out of the car, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it took MCU to finally rival that fight scene that Matt Damon had in The Bourne Identity.
That was with Clive Owen, wasn't it?
No, Bourne Identity was like the first of the Bourne movies.
Right.
And well, Clive Owen, yes, played at the very end.
He was
played an
he was
assassin.
the one at the end. Yeah, no,
yeah, it
no.
was a minor role. But
Right.
it was a French assassin that he had a fight with in that apartment.
Oh yes. Now I remember.
Yeah, he took like the pen behind his back and just use any weapon. And even CIA trained guys said that's exactly what we would do. We would take anything at our disposal and turn it into a weapon. So, that fight scene got high marks from everyone.
Yeah, no. Just the weapons transfer from hand to hand, like you saw Sebastian Stan, like, with the knife dropping from one hand to the next and looking for the opening.
Which you're not supposed to do, by the way, but he is the Winter Soldier. Anyone
not supposed to have a metal arm either, but
But Benicio del Toro did the same thing in the Tommy Lee Jones movie. He dropped
The Hunted, yes.
Yeah, he dropped the knife to his other hand, which was a slick move.
I love The Hunted. I thought that was a great movie.
A great movie. Yeah,
learn to make your own knife.
That's right.
make a balanced knife out of garbage.
Yeah. For the finale of the movie.
Yeah. Something you can throw and it will hit target, even though it's not balanced.
Yeah, but I guess for a master killer, that would be easy.
No, I think like I said, I'm looking forward to all of it. I'm looking forward to things. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing the Netflix characters get into the MCU.
Well, yeah, there's rumors around. There's rumors that Charlie Cox just finished filming his scenes for Spider-Man 3. Anyway, I hope they're true. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense, because Spider-Man 3, Peter Parker has been outed.
Yeah.
Needs a lawyer. Matt Murdock is there.
Yeah.
That would be that would be so good.
Yeah.
The show was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I liked all the I liked all the Netflix shows, even Iron Fist. Everyone shits on me for liking Iron Fist, but I still liked it. And the Defenders to me was just like, yes. I got just as excited about the Defenders as I did the Avengers.
Well, we never thought we'd see a day where we would actually get that, right? And it happened. When you're a kid, you think, oh, there'll never be a movie or TV show with this, but they did it. Well,
when we were a kid, what the movies that we got or the TV shows that we got were like so lowbrow. The Matt Salinger Captain America. And even like the Red Brown Captain America from the TV show, Blaster from Uncommon Valor is now Captain America.
That's right.
So it's like you sit there like, okay, he's got the build. He's a Boy Scout a bit. Okay, yeah, he's good. But the California surfer dude doesn't quite fit in with the Brooklyn, New York guy. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And then the 1970s Spider-Man, he's moving his hands, but it's not crawling up the wall, but he's on a wire, so he's not. His hand movement is not doesn't pace right with how fast he's moving up the wall.
That's right.
So that was the only TV show that we had that actually hit for us was the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, that was the only one that we kind of like said, okay, there's a standard. And you got to go a long way to hit it.
Yeah.
Because you think back, I don't think they hit it with Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
No, I'm more the Punish the Netflix with John Bernthal. That's
but I'm talking of what we got back then. That was like the early '90s, where they looked like they spent all their money on the actors because the sets look like hell. The sets were so shitty. The dialogue was so shitty. You had, Dolph Lundgren and Lou Gossett Jr. Hey, Lou Gossett Jr., fantastic actor, right?
Yeah.
But this is proof of you can have a fantastic actor, but you give him a shitty set and a shitty lines, it ain't going nowhere.
Should have been called an officer and a Punisher.
Yeah. Nice, good pull.
And let's wrap it up on that. Okay, always leave him wanting more. Okay, that's it, people. I'm out of here. Don't forget to tip the waitress because it's funny when she falls over.
Yeah, we can go on for hours, but yeah, we should cut this out. All right. Well, this has been our first episode. I hope you liked it. All the social media and stuff is going to be coming. This has been Butcher Bay Rejects. I'm Mark.
I'm Greg, and thanks, nerds.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.